My child, stop for a moment. Do not scroll past this. Do not tell yourself this message is for someone else. I am speaking to you right now, in this exact moment, because you have waited long enough. I know how heavy your heart feels. I know how tired your spirit has become. And I need you to hear me clearly. No more waiting. I am here to save you. You have been asking how much longer. You have been wondering if I heard you at all. You have tried to stay strong while time kept moving, and answers did not. But I did not abandon you, and I did not delay out of indifference. I am here now, and this is not coincidence. This is not algorithm. This is appointment. I am stepping into your situation, and I am asking you to stay with me for these next moments, because what I am about to speak is meant to lift you out of what has been holding you down. You've told yourself, maybe I missed it. Maybe it's too late. Maybe I waited too long. My child, I do not arrive late. I arrive when your heart is ready to be rescued without breaking. What felt like silence was protection. What felt like delay was alignment. And now I am telling you plainly, the season of waiting is ending, and the season of my intervention is beginning. I know you're exhausted from hoping. I know you've learned how to function while hurting. But I did not design you to survive without being saved. I did not design you to carry what was never meant to be yours alone. That is why I am calling you right now, to interrupt the lie that nothing will change. Something is already shifting as you listen. If this message is reaching you, it is because I want it to reach others who are waiting in the same darkness you've walked through. Let this be bigger than just you. Like this video, comment so others know they are not alone. Share this with 3 people who are tired of waiting. Hype this message so it travels where I need it to go. And subscribe so you stay connected to what I am speaking in this season. When you help this message move, you help me reach another heart that feels forgotten. Do not rush past this moment. Let your guard down. Let your breathing slow. I am not here to accuse you. I am here to rescue you. I am not here to remind you of what you failed to do. I am here to remind you who I am. You do not need to beg me to act. I am already moving. You do not need to convince me to care. I have never stopped. Listen to my voice above the noise of your thoughts. This is not the end of your story. This is the turning point. And as you stay with me, I will show you why the waiting had a purpose, and why salvation is closer than you think. My child, I see you. Not the version of you that smiles for others, not the one that keeps saying I'm fine, but the one who collapses when the room is quiet. I see the weight you carry when no one is watching. I see the nights you fell asleep asking me questions you were afraid to say out loud. I see the mornings you woke up already tired, already bracing yourself to face another day that felt unchanged. You have wondered if your prayers were too weak, if your faith was inconsistent, if your tears somehow disqualified you. But listen to me closely. I have never measured your worth by how strong you looked. I have been closest to you in the moments you felt like you were barely holding on. Every tear you cried was counted. Every sigh you released reached me. Nothing about your struggle went unnoticed. I know the exact moment you started feeling invisible. I know when hope began to feel risky, when trusting me again felt like opening yourself up to disappointment. You told yourself you'd stop expecting so much so it wouldn't hurt as deeply. You learned how to numb your prayers, how to soften your dreams. But even then, I was there, watching over you with love, not judgment. You did not imagine the heaviness. You did not exaggerate the pain. What you have been carrying is real. The delay was real. The loneliness was real. The confusion was real. And yet, so was my presence. Even when you couldn't feel me, I was nearer than your breath. I was steady when everything around you felt unstable. My child, you were not overlooked. You were not skipped. You were not forgotten in the process. I know the specific battle you've been fighting, the one you rarely explain because words never seem strong enough. I know the pressure that built up when answers didn't come quickly. I know the quiet fear that whispered, "What if nothing changes?" But I also know the strength I placed inside you. I know how many times you chose to keep going when it would have been easier to give up. I know how often you showed up for others while feeling empty yourself. That endurance did not go unseen. That obedience mattered. That faith, yes, even the shaky kind, was precious to me. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not disqualified because you questioned, doubted, or felt weary. I do not require perfection to stay near you. I require honesty. And you have been honest with me even in your silence. Let me say this clearly so it settles in your heart. I chose you. I have always known your name. I have always known this moment would come. And the fact that you are still here, still listening, still breathing, is evidence that I am not finished with your story. You are seen. You are known. You are held. And as we move forward together, you will begin to understand why I never let you go, even when you felt like letting go of me. My child, let me reveal the truth you have been struggling to understand. The waiting was not a punishment. It was not rejection. It was not me testing how much pain you could endure. The waiting was protection. The waiting was preparation. The waiting was me holding back what you were not yet ready to carry without harm. I know you thought delay meant denial, but I need you to release that belief now. I never said no to you. I said not yet, because I was working in ways you could not see. You were asking me to change the situation, but I was shaping your heart. You were praying for rescue, and I was building endurance so the rescue would not destroy you. Had I moved when you demanded it, you would have blamed yourself for what followed. So I waited, not because I was distant, but because I was careful with you. You believed salvation would look loud, instant, dramatic. But often, my saving hand moves quietly, aligning details, removing dangers you never noticed, closing doors you thought you needed. I saved you from outcomes you prayed for but would have broken under. I saved you from people who were not meant to walk with you into what comes next. I saved you from becoming someone you would not recognize. The truth is this: waiting does not mean I am absent. Waiting means I am ahead of you. I see the full picture while you see the moment. And I refuse to rush what requires precision. I refuse to hand you freedom before you can hold it without fear. The delay was not wasted time. It was sacred ground. Now hear me clearly: salvation is not always escape. Sometimes salvation is strength. Sometimes it is clarity. Sometimes it is endurance that keeps you alive until the breakthrough arrives. And right now, salvation is unfolding, not because you finally did something right, but because the appointed time has come. My child, as this truth settles in you, I want you to understand something deeper. What I am doing through this message is bigger than just you. I am using your waiting to reach others who feel stuck in the same place. And this is where I invite you to move with me. I say in my word that when you sow, you will reap in due season. And this is not just about provision. It is about souls. When you support this work, you are planting light into dark places, pouring oil where lamps are flickering, releasing water into dry hearts that are still waiting for hope. I am speaking to you now. Yes, you. Because your obedience in this moment can unlock freedom for someone you may never meet. If my voice through this message has strengthened you, then act. Support what I am building here through super thanks or membership, and let this river keep flowing. Give through PayPal as well. The link is waiting for you in the description and shown through the QR code on this video. This is not a donation. This is a response. This is you saying yes to the work I am doing right now. I bless what you release. I multiply what you place in my hands. And I promise you this: no seed you sow into my purpose will return empty. Now stay with me, because the waiting has spoken, and the saving is already in motion. My child, I need to speak to you gently but clearly. Part of what kept you weary was not the waiting itself, but the grip you held on how everything needed to unfold. You tried to manage the timing, the outcome, the details, because letting go felt too dangerous. You told yourself that if you stayed in control, you could protect your heart from disappointment. But control did not give you peace. It only gave you pressure. I do not say this to shame you. I understand why you held on so tightly. You have been hurt before. You have trusted and felt let down. So you learned to keep your hands on the wheel, even when you were exhausted. But hear me now. What you were gripping was not keeping you safe. It was keeping you tense. It was keeping you anxious. It was keeping you focused on fear instead of faith. I never asked you to figure everything out. I never asked you to carry the weight of outcomes. That burden was never yours. When you tried to control what only I can govern, you drained yourself of the rest I was offering you all along. I want to free you from that cycle, not condemn you for being in it. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means trusting me enough to loosen your hands. It means believing that I am not careless with your life, your heart, or your future. You feared that if you surrendered control, things would fall apart. But I am telling you the truth now. Things begin to fall into place when you stop forcing them. I need you to release the timeline you built in your mind. Release the picture of how salvation must look. Release the idea that you have to stay alert at all times so nothing goes wrong. My child, I do not need you to watch over your life. I am already doing that. You were never meant to live braced for impact. This correction comes from love because I want you free. Free from replaying conversations. Free from rehearsing worst-case scenarios. Free from blaming yourself for delays that were never your fault. When you loosen your grip, you make room for peace to enter. When you trust me, you allow me to move without resistance. You may not feel ready to release control completely. That is okay. Start by placing one thing back into my hands. The thing that keeps you awake. The decision you keep revisiting. The outcome you keep trying to predict. You do not have to surrender everything at once. Just be willing to begin. I am not asking you to be passive. I am asking you to be obedient. There is a difference. Obedience listens. Control insists. Obedience rests. Control strains. And I want you to experience the ease of walking with me instead of dragging yourself forward alone. Trust me here. I am not leading you into loss. I am leading you into freedom. As you release what you were never meant to carry, you will feel your breathing slow and your heart settle. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. And this is where healing deepens and true peace begins. My child, I want you to hear this deeply now. You were never walking alone. Even in the moments when you felt abandoned, even when silence surrounded you, even when prayers felt unanswered, I was with you. I was closer than you realized, steady when your strength was fading, present when you felt unseen. You may not have felt my hand, but I was holding you the entire time. You thought you were surviving on your own, pushing through by sheer will, But the truth is, I was carrying you when you had nothing left to give. Every day you stood back up, every night you endured, every moment you chose not to quit. That strength did not come from you alone. I was supplying it quietly, faithfully, moment by moment. I know how easy it is to believe you've been forgotten when the struggle lasts longer than expected. I know the lie that whispers, if God were really here, this wouldn't hurt so much. But pain is not proof of my absence. Often, it is evidence that you are still moving forward, still growing, still alive in the process. I was not distant while you hurt. I was sustaining you through it. My child, look at how far you've come. There were days you didn't think you'd survive, yet here you are. There were moments you felt like giving up completely, yet something inside you kept going. That something was me. I placed resilience in your spirit. I placed endurance in your heart. I strengthened you when you were too tired to ask. You are not weak for needing encouragement. You are not failing because you still feel weary. Strength does not mean you never feel tired. Strength means you keep walking even when the road feels long. And I have been walking with you, matching your pace, never rushing you, never leaving you behind. Let me remind you of who you are in me. You are not defined by the delay. You are not measured by how fast things change. You are not broken because you struggled. You are chosen. You are loved. You are being guided with care. What you endured did not disqualify you. It refined you. I am proud of you for staying. Proud of you for trusting me even when trust felt risky. Proud of you for listening now, even though your heart has been bruised by waiting. That courage matters. That faith matters. And it has not been overlooked. As you move forward, I want you to stop telling yourself that you must handle everything alone. You do not need to be strong all the time. You only need to stay connected to me. When you feel tired again, lean into me. When doubts return, bring them to me. When fear whispers, let my voice answer it. You are not alone in this season. You never were, and you never will be. I am here, strengthening you not just to survive, but to step into what comes next with confidence and peace. Stay with me. We are moving forward together. My child, listen to me carefully now, because I am not speaking about something distant. I am speaking about what is already unfolding. I am acting now, not later. Not someday. No. Even if you cannot yet see it, movement has begun, and nothing will stop what I have set in motion for you. I know you have learned to guard your heart against disappointment. I know you hesitate to believe too strongly because waiting taught you caution. But I am asking you to trust me again, not blindly, not naively, but confidently. I have never failed to keep my promises, and I will not start with you. What I have spoken over your life still stands. I promise you this. I am restoring what the waiting drained from you. I am restoring peace where anxiety lived. I am restoring clarity where confusion ruled. I am restoring hope where exhaustion tried to settle in. You did not lose ground while you waited. You gained roots. And those roots are about to support growth you could not have sustained before. Do not measure my work by how fast things change on the outside. Some of my greatest moves happen quietly at first. Doors are shifting. People are being repositioned. Opportunities are aligning. You are being strengthened internally so you can walk into what is next without fear controlling you. Trust the process even when it feels subtle. I promise you that obedience will not be wasted. Every time you chose to trust me instead of giving up, you were building a future stronger than you realized. Timing matters to me. I do not rush what needs to last. What I bring into your life now is meant to remain, not collapse under pressure. You may feel like you are starting over, but you are not. You are starting from experience, wisdom, and refinement. You are starting with a deeper awareness of me. That is not loss. That is preparation fulfilled. And I am pleased with how you stayed, how you listened, how you endured. I promise you that you will not walk alone into what comes next. I will guide each step. I will correct when needed. I will comfort when you feel unsure. I will provide what you need when you need it. You do not have to see the entire path. You only need to trust the one leading you. Let my assurance calm your thoughts. You do not need to chase what is meant for you. I am bringing it to you. You do not need to force outcomes. I am aligning them. You do not need to fear being overlooked. I know exactly where you are. My child, hold this promise close. I am faithful. I am present. I am active in your life. What felt delayed is now being released in the right way, at the right time, with the right purpose. Stay attentive. Stay trusting. Stay near me. This is not the end of your waiting for nothing. This is the beginning of fulfillment. And as you move forward, I want you to walk with confidence, knowing that I am ahead of you, beside you, and within you, bringing to completion what I began. My child, this is the moment where listening must become response. Not because I demand it, but because your heart is ready for it. You have heard my voice. You have felt truth settle where confusion once lived. Now I am inviting you to step forward with me, not in fear, not in pressure, but in trust. I am not asking you to do something dramatic. I am asking you to do something honest. Open your heart fully to me again. Let the walls you built for survival come down in my presence. You no longer need them here. This is a safe place. I am not here to overwhelm you. I am here to guide you. Begin by breathing deeply and letting your spirit quiet. Stop rehearsing what could go wrong. Stop replaying what already hurt you. Those thoughts have had enough of your attention. Turn your focus toward me now. Even if your faith feels small, bring it. Even if your trust feels fragile, offer it. I can work with what you give me. Pray to me, even if the words feel simple. Tell me where you are afraid. Tell me where you feel unsure. Tell me where you still hesitate to believe change is coming. I already know, but speaking it releases what hath been trapped inside you. When you pray honestly, you create space for healing and direction. I am calling you to trust me in action, not just in thought. Trust me enough to take the next right step, even if you cannot see the entire path. Obedience does not require certainty. It requires willingness. And your willingness matters more than perfection ever could. Let go of the need to understand everything before moving forward. Faith does not wait for full clarity. Faith moves with me, step by step, learning as it goes. You are not behind because you do not have all the answers. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again. I am also calling you to release what no longer belongs in this next season. Release resentment that weighs you down. Release fear that keeps you frozen. Release old labels you placed on yourself during hard times. Those were survival tools, not identity markers. They do not define who you are becoming. Stand up in your spirit now, not in your own strength but in mine. Decide that waiting will no longer be the place you live. Decide that trust will be your posture moving forward. Decide that when doubt tries to return, you will answer it with my truth instead of fear. This activation is not about proving your faith. It is about positioning your heart. When you align with me, doors open naturally. When you respond, momentum begins. You do not have to force change. You only need to stay connected to me as I lead you. My child, choose me again right now. Choose trust over tension. Choose obedience over overthinking. Choose faith over fear. As you do, you will feel something shift within you. A readiness, a steadiness, a quiet confidence. Stay with me. We are moving out of waiting and into walking together. And as you respond to me now, you are stepping into the life I have been preparing you for all along. My child, rest now. Let your shoulders relax. Let your thoughts sow. You do not need to stay alert anymore. You do not need to brace yourself for what might go wrong. I am here, and I have you. The waiting that wore you down no longer defines this moment. What defines this moment is my presence and my promise. You have listened. You have received. You have allowed truth to replace fear. And now I want you to settle into peace, not the fragile kind that depends on circumstances, but the steady kind that comes from knowing I am in control. Nothing you are facing is bigger than me. Nothing ahead of you is unaccounted for. I am already there. Remember what I have spoken to you. You were seen in the waiting. You were strengthened in the silence. You were protected in the delay. And now you are being led forward with intention. This was never about wasting time. It was about preparing you for a future that requires confidence, trust, and calm assurance. You do not have to rush into tomorrow. Walk into it with me. One step at a time. One decision at a time. I will guide you when you are unsure. I will steady you when you feel weak. I will remind you of who you are when old doubts try to return. You are not starting from nothing. You are moving from refinement into fulfillment. As this message comes to a close, let peace anchor itself in your heart. Let hope breathe again. Let faith rise quietly without pressure. I am not asking you to strive. I am asking you to trust. I am not asking you to carry outcomes. I am asking you to stay close to me. Now, my child, I want this peace to reach beyond you. What I have spoken today is meant to rescue more hearts that are still waiting in silence. So let this message move. Like this video as an act of agreement. Comment so others know they are not alone. Share this with 3 people who are tired of waiting and need to hear that I am here. Subscribe and hype this video so my voice reaches where it is needed most. When you do, you become part of the rescue I am carrying out. And as this moment settles, I speak to those whose hearts are stirred to help this word go further. I say to you now, this is your moment to sow into light. When you support this work through super thanks or membership, you are placing oil into lamps that are guiding the lost home. When you give through PayPal, the link waiting in the description and shown through the QR code, you are opening rivers where dryness once ruled. This is not an interruption. This is obedience in motion. I declare that what you release for my purpose will return multiplied in peace, clarity, and provision. I bless your giving as a prophetic act. I command the seed you sow to rise as harvest in your life and in the lives of those you will never meet but will help save. Now go in peace. Carry what I have spoken. Walk forward knowing the waiting is over. I am here. I am saving you. And I am not letting go.